Alright, a brief follow-up to our YRCW call from Thursday night. The chart's still intact here. It didn't trigger. It actually hit one of our potential catalysts in the first 5 minutes. In other words, I think it was 382. We said 382, a break of Thursday's high, might get us to 390, which could then get us to the 411, you know, the stacked catalyst we talk about. But it hit 382 right at the open. We never take a trade that hits any of our catalysts in the first 5 minutes. We wait and see, let them settle down and see if we can get another entry, if it's going to, in fact, break out that day. And, you know, staying out of it the first 5 minutes certainly paid off because it didn't do much of anything, very low volume. So still intact for next week. Still really like it over this base here. So we'll be watching this for a 390 entry. Hopefully that's enough to get us to 411, and then we could really take off. But I'm going to show you a couple calls from our chat room on Friday that did work nicely. FNSR called this. Let me use an arrow. It's much cleaner. Called this right here at 31.14. Shot up pretty quickly to 31.95. So over 80-cent move. The risk was 20 cents below is where our stop was, and that held nicely. Dean Foods, DF, was gapping up in the morning. We saw it gapping up in the pre-market. Called it right here over this little bitty candle for our members at 10.14. Worst case stop was a nickel below right there that didn't get hit. And from 10.14 it ended up almost going to 10.50 at one point. But went to 10.48, and again the risk was only a nickel, and you can see never got hit. So the original stop held all day, and it was just where do you sell to take profits? We always scale out in parts, so a nice trade in DF. PCX, you know from watching our videos, we like these intraday capitulation plays when they're really pushing down and the volume increasing. Using a method we teach, we certainly like to fade these and go the other way. PCX 23.11 was a long entry I called. So right about there, worst case stop 17 cents below at the low of the day, and didn't get hit. And from 23.11 pretty quickly right up to 23.60. So a real nice move there in a very short period of time. So PCX and another one of those nice capitulation type fades. Same type of deal on CAM. Didn't exactly tear it up, but the entry was 50.38, somewhere right in here. And it shot up to, not a big deal, but it did make it kind of a nice lunchtime trade to 50.72 there. So a nice little pop to sell, sell into. I got 30 cents on part of it, but scale out in part. So a decent little lunchtime trade. NWSA, this thing just right out of the gate. We had it on watch as a possible long, but it was just right out of the gate. And once they start running, I just can't chase them. So, kind of used a secondary entry strategy that we teach. I think the entry on NWSA was around 15.19. Call somewhere right in here. Worst case stop right there. Didn't get hit. The stop didn't get hit from 15.19. Let me get this right here. Made it to 15.45 at its best. So I didn't catch a big chunk of that move, but still a nice, easy trade. Took a while to work, but NWSA, an example of another trade from Friday. And then kind of a late day call from Friday, HGSI, another one of these capitulation trades. Called this long at 24.37. So somewhere right in here. Worst case stop, low of the day, right there. Didn't get hit from 24.37. You see it made it up over 24.70. So these short-term capitulation fades are certainly working nice and kind of been a staple in our room for a long time now. So anyway, I'm going to quit babbling. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And keep your eyes on that YRCW. It'll be back on our watch list for Monday. We'll try to send out another free pick next week. But since YRCW didn't trigger, certainly keep your eyes on that one. And we'll talk to you next week.